The dispatcher asked me to repeat myself 3 times before she believed I wasn't joking. Someone is inside my apartment right now, and I'm locked in the bathroom. I whispered it so quietly, I wasn't sure she heard me the first time. That's the moment I want to start with, because everything before it, every small detail I'd been ignoring for 2 weeks, suddenly made horrible sense. My name doesn't matter. I'm telling this because I still don't have an answer for what happened. And some nights I lie awake, needing someone else to tell me I'm not crazy. It started with small things. Nothing dramatic. I live alone in a second-floor apartment in a converted house, the kind with thin walls and a landlord who never answers the phone. About 3 weeks before that night in the bathroom, I noticed my kitchen chairs weren't where I left them, just an inch off. The kind of thing you blame on yourself, on being tired, on not remembering correctly. Then it was the bathroom light. I'd turn it off before bed, and I'd wake up to it humming softly under the door. I told myself the switch was faulty. I even called an electrician who found nothing wrong with it, shrugged, and left. I remember standing in my kitchen after he drove away, staring at that light switch like it might explain itself to me. The smell came next. Cigarette smoke, faint, like it was trapped in fabric rather than fresh in the air. I don't smoke. None of my friends smoke. I checked the vents, checked if a neighbor's smoke was somehow leaking through the walls. Nothing. It would appear for an hour and vanish completely, like someone had stood in my living room and then walked back out through a door that didn't exist. I told my sister about it over the phone, half laughing, calling myself paranoid. She didn't laugh back. "Get a camera," she said. "Just one, for your own peace of mind." I bought a cheap one online, the kind that syncs to your phone, and set it up facing my front door, the only entrance to the apartment. I felt stupid doing it. I felt smart doing it. Both at once. For 4 days, nothing happened. The footage was just me coming and going, my own tired face lit up by the hallway bulb. I started to relax. I told myself the chairs had always been like that, the light switch was old, the smell was some strange trick of the building's ventilation. That's the thing about fear. It wants so badly to be wrong that it'll grab onto any excuse to rest. Then on the 5th night, I couldn't sleep. It was almost 2 a.m., and I was scrolling through my phone in bed when I heard it. 3 slow knocks on my bedroom wall. Not the front door, the wall. The one connected to the room I use for storage, which shares no wall with any neighbor. It faces the backyard, empty since the house next door burned down 2 years ago. I sat completely still. My heart was doing something I didn't recognize, a kind of stuttering thud that made my hands go cold. I told myself it was pipes. Old houses make noises. I said it out loud. Actually said the words, "It's just the pipes," like hearing my own voice could fix it. Then I heard breathing. Not mine. Slow, deliberate, coming from somewhere close, like someone standing just outside a thin barrier, in a room that officially didn't have anyone in it. I didn't check the storage room. I want to be honest about that, because when I tell people this story, they always ask why I didn't just open the door and look. The truth is I couldn't move. I lay there with the blanket pulled to my chin like I was 7 years old again, listening to that, breathing slow, then stop, then start again, for almost 20 minutes. By morning, I'd convinced myself it was a dream, a half-waking hallucination brought on by exhaustion. I went to work. I laughed at something a coworker said. I ate lunch at my desk like a normal person having a normal day. That's what fear does when it hasn't fully arrived yet. It lets you pretend. I got home around 6 p.m. and opened the camera app out of habit, scrolling back through the day's footage while I made dinner. Empty hallway, empty hallway. Me leaving for work at 8:14 a.m. and then at 8:47 a.m., 33 minutes after I left, the front door opened. I stopped chewing. I watched a shape step into my apartment. Not rushed, not sneaking. Calm, like they had a key. The picture quality was bad, grainy, but I could see it was a man, medium build, wearing a gray jacket with the hood up. He stood in my hallway for almost 10 full seconds, not moving, facing the camera like he knew exactly where it was. Then he raised his hand and waved, slowly, directly at the lens. My phone slipped out of my hand and hit the kitchen floor. I don't remember deciding to call the police, just remember my own voice, strange and far away, giving them my address. 2 officers came. They walked through every room with me trailing behind them, my whole body shaking even though the apartment was warm. Nothing was missing, nothing was disturbed. The storage room, the one with the wall I'd heard breathing through, was locked exactly the way I'd left it, dust undisturbed on the doorknob. No signs of forced entry, one officer told me, not unkindly. Do you have a spare key anywhere? Anyone who might have had access? I didn't. That was the answer that scared me more than anything else that day. They left with a case number and a promise to keep an eye on the building. I sat on my couch that night with every light on, my phone in my hand, replaying that 10-second clip until the man's wave stopped looking like a threat and started looking like something worse. An invitation. Like he wasn't warning me to leave. He was letting me know he'd be back. I didn't sleep in my apartment again for 4 days. I stayed with my sister, told my landlord I needed the locks changed immediately, and he did it without much argument once I sent him the footage. New deadbolt, new chain, a second camera aimed at the storage room door. I felt almost safe. Almost. I moved back in on a Thursday. The apartment felt different, quieter in a way that pressed against my ears. I told myself that was normal. The trauma changes, how a space feels, even when nothing about the space itself has changed. For 6 days, the cameras showed nothing. No knocks, no smoke, no breathing through walls that shouldn't carry sound. I started sleeping again in short stretches at first, then longer ones. I actually laughed at a stupid video a friend sent me on a Tuesday night, lying in bed, feeling for the first time in weeks like maybe it was over. Maybe he'd gotten what he wanted, whatever brief thrill of being inside my space, and moved on. That was the night the power went out. Not the whole building, just my apartment. I know because I could still hear my neighbor's TV murmuring faintly through the wall. I lay there in the dark for a moment, telling myself it was a breaker, that I'd deal with it in the morning, that this was a coincidence, and coincidences happen. Then my phone buzzed. A notification from the camera app. Motion detected. Storage room. I stared at the screen, the blue light of it the only thing illuminating my room. My thumb hovered over the notification. I told myself not to open it. I opened it anyway. The footage was dark, grainy, lit only by the small infrared glow the camera used at night. The storage room door was open. I hadn't left it open. And standing in the gap, not fully inside the frame, was the outline of someone tall, motionless, facing directly toward where I knew my bedroom camera was mounted, like he could see through the wall to where I was lying. I didn't call the police first. I made a mistake I still don't forgive myself for. I got up to check the door myself, moving through my dark apartment with my phone flashlight shaking in my hand because some stupid, desperate part of me needed to see with my own eyes rather than trust the screen. The hallway was empty. The storage room door was closed, exactly as I remembered leaving it. I stood there so long my legs started to ache, listening to nothing, waiting for a sound that never came. I told myself the camera glitched. I told myself a lot of things that night. I went back to bed but didn't sleep, and that's why I heard it when the bathroom door down the short hall from my bedroom clicked shut. Not slammed, clicked softly, like someone closing it carefully so as not to wake me. I hadn't gone in that bathroom in hours. My body moved before my mind caught up. I don't remember deciding to get out of bed, only that I was suddenly standing, phone in hand, staring down the dark hallway at a closed door that had been open when I went to sleep. I could hear something now. Not breathing this time, but the faint, unmistakable sound of the bathroom faucet running. I backed away instead of forward. I went into the only room with a lock that worked from the inside, the guest bathroom off my bedroom, and I locked the door and sat down on the cold tile floor with my knees against my chest. That's when I called 911. That's the moment I started this story with. The dispatcher kept me on the line, told me to stay quiet, stay still, that officers were close. I sat there for what felt like an hour but was probably 11 minutes, listening to my own apartment through a locked door. Footsteps unhurried, moving from the hallway toward the kitchen and back again, like someone pacing while they waited for something. The footsteps stopped directly outside the bathroom door. I stopped breathing entirely. And then, so quiet, I almost convinced myself, I imagined it, a voice, calm, almost gentle, said my name. Not shouted, said. The way someone says a name when they've known you a long time. I don't remember the police arriving. I remember lights, someone knocking on the bathroom door and identifying themselves, and my hands shaking too badly to turn the lock. When I finally opened it, the apartment was empty. Every window was locked from the inside. The front door was still bolted the way I'd left it. There was no way in and no way out that any of us could find. The only thing they found was in the other bathroom, the one with the faucet I'd heard running. Written on the fogged mirror, in a finger's careful strokes, were 3 words that hadn't been there when I checked the apartment hours earlier. I moved out 2 weeks later. I never learned who he was, how he got in, or how he vanished from a sealed apartment with 2 working locks and an officer standing outside the only door. The case is still open, technically, though nobody's called me about it in over a year. I think about that voice sometimes. How calm it was, how familiar. And some nights, in my new apartment in a different city, I swear I can still smell cigarette smoke that isn't mine. I've told this story a few times now, and every time someone asks me the same question. What were the 3 words on the mirror? I've never answered that, and I don't think I ever will. Some things you carry alone. What I will say is this: trust the small stuff, the moved chair, the smell that doesn't belong, the light that shouldn't be on. I ignored mine for 2 weeks because I didn't want to be the person who overreacts. I'd rather be that person 100 times over than sit on a bathroom floor again, waiting to hear my name. If something similar has ever happened to you, a presence you couldn't explain, a feeling that you weren't as alone in your home as you should have been, I'd genuinely like to hear it. Tell me in the comments. Sometimes putting it into words is the only way to make sense of it. And if this kept you up a little tonight, if it made you check your own locks just once before bed, do me a favor and hit like, subscribe for more of these, and let me know. Would you have opened that bathroom door or stayed locked in until morning?